Hi, this is a video in part of my series, How to Talk So She Listens and How to Listen So She Talks. I'm Christine Dunn, the Lesbian Love Guru at lesbianloveguru.com, and I want to share with you a tip today on how to be a better listener for your partner so that she feels safe sharing with you, so she feels acknowledged, and so she feels understood and like you have empathy for her. Because that is really the building blocks for great communication and relationship. Like, you don't always have to agree with everything your partner says. You don't always have to think that she's right. But you do have an obligation to listen to her and to be empathetic towards her side and to really try and understand her perspective and acknowledge the things she says and acknowledge the way she feels. You know, these are all important for creating a really healthy, happy relationship over the long run. And the more you do this, the more you'll be able to find that you have middle ground. Because when she feels acknowledged, when she feels like you're actually trying to see her perspective, when she feels like you're empathetic towards her feelings, then it opens up this space in between the two of you where you can actually talk and where you can actually find a middle ground, or you can see what the next step should be, how you should be moving forward. And you may surprise yourself that when you become empathetic towards her perspective, when you actually listen to her and acknowledge the things she's saying, then you may realize, gosh, she really is saying something that I should be thoughtful about. Maybe she's right. Maybe she's right and we should do this situation differently. Maybe she's right and I haven't been such a thoughtful partner lately. You know, so when you actually do that, when you actually meet with her in the middle and you listen to her and you acknowledge her, there's a lot of magic that happens. So one of the first things to do is to really be present. If she's sharing something with you, she comes to you and says, gosh, this is really hurting me, I'm really upset, you know, sit down and be present with her. And that means you sit down in the moment, you put all distractions away, and you're there with her, and you're listening to her, making eye contact with her, sitting with her, maybe holding hands with her, and really listening to what she has to say. And part of that is you're going to have to hold your tongue. You're going to have to let her speak. You're going to have to take a deep breath and actually hear what she has to say. And once you do that, the next step is reflecting back to her, acknowledging what she's saying. You know, so if she's feeling really angry at you, you might say, you know, I understand that you feel really angry about the fact that I haven't been paying a lot of attention to you lately. And I'm hearing that you feel very angry about that. Is that true? So that's acknowledging what her emotion is. That's acknowledging what she's saying. So you know what that shows? That shows you're paying attention. And that's what she wants. She wants to feel like you're paying attention to her. She wants to feel like what I'm saying matters. And she wants to feel like you care that this is hurting her and this is bothering her. So acknowledging that and reflecting that back to her and talking to her about that. And sometimes just acknowledging it and being empathetic towards someone's emotions totally diffuses the situation. You may realize that you no longer have a problem because you've listened and you've acknowledged. But a component of that is you actually have to say something back to her. You can't just nod. That's not really going to feel that acknowledging, and that's not going to feel like you understand. And again, you don't have to understand in the way that you feel the same way, but you have to understand that there's something that's bothering her, and that something is this anger, this frustration, whatever it is. You are understanding that she is having these feelings, and that this situation is causing her to have the feelings. So, you know, just starting out with that foundation will open up a space for you to have a different conversation with her. And again, you might realize through that conversation that, gosh, maybe you did something wrong. Or just seeing her perspective, you're like, okay, well, you know, she's feeling really hurt right now. Like, sometimes we don't realize when our partners come at us with a problem and they seem very angry that they're actually masking hurt. And when we really listen and we see the perspective, we understand that they're really hurting. And instead of being defensive and being angry back at them, we see this person who's hurting. And we say, gosh, okay, I don't really think I did anything wrong, but it doesn't matter because she's hurting. And so how can I help her with that hurt? How can I help this situation be different? How can I acknowledge her and hold her in that space and create a different situation where we can move forward and we can, through this conversation, instead of being further apart, being closer together. So try that out and see how that changes the discussions you have, the arguments you have, the feelings you have, and see if that moves you closer together, because I promise you it will. So please hit subscribe on my channel, hit like on this video, share your comments, what you think about this, and also head on over to lesbianloveguru.com, where I have a lot more videos, I have a lot more articles, I have a lot more great ways that you can create a stronger relationship with your partner.